A video of the 1915 Sinclair tank truck. I've got it up on the rack so we can go around underneath it. Take a look and see. I'll show you what everything is, at least, and show you what I know is good and bad. Not much bad on this car. All Model Ts drew a little oil, and that's always been a challenge to keep it from drilling oil. That's an oil gauge, and as long as oil comes out this top petcock, there's oil in the car. Once a year I come under here and clean and degrease. You see there's not much in the way of rust or anything on this car. That's the underside of the running board, and those three clamps hold the little luggage rack on. There's a little bit of leakage on the rear seals. There's a little bit of leakage at the differential. And when I say leakage, I'm talking about 1 or 2 drops a week. This is a torsion tube, and it's got a weld on it to support the back part of the torsion tube. Torsion tube wants to crack. It was a fused torsion tube in early cars. That's the gas valve. This gas valve stays open. I have added another one under the car by the carburetor, which is right there, for convenience more than anything. This should be cleaned out once a year. Just open that petcock and get the sediment out. Muffler's in good shape. Rear springs and shackles are all in good shape. This tank is designed, you can see I've got a scuttle hole in the tank. The battery is in the tank. You can crawl up under here and go into the tank. You could build shelves if you wanted to in the tank. I've not done that. This tank is designed to come off in about an hour and a half. Everything is attached to the tank, and there are carriage bolts that go down through this wooden flooring and attach the tank. I think there's 6 of them, and they attach the tank to the back part of the car. So if you wanted a Model T Roadster, which is what this car was originally, you'd remove the tank, lift it off of the body, the wood and everything comes off, and you would bolt that little turtle deck trunk in place. It's held on by about 7 screws, and you've turned the car back into its original 1915 Model T Roadster. The Sinclair gasoline decals on the side are magnetic, so they come off. These are not the original wheels. They used to use artillery wheels, which were vertical. Those are artillery wheels on the 1926. They don't corner very well. There's no side-to-side support. So they introduced these welded spoked steel wheels, and those are on this car. This is a faster car than my 26. This car has a 2-speed rear end. It's called a Ruxtell rear end. You can see right there's an angle thing that goes up to what looks like a gear shift. So this is the Ruxtell rear end there, all of this. And it's a 2-speed rear end. In the low range, you've got good easy pull off and fairly decent acceleration, up to 30. And in the high range, you've got slow pull off, I use it at the low range in town, and if I'm out on the highway, I use the high range. It goes up to 41 or 42 depending on the headwind. There's the Bendix and the back part of the starter. This has a 1917 engine in it, not a 1915. And the nice feature to the 17 is you can hand crank it or you can start it using the starter. I'll bring it down off the rack, and in the next video we'll start it both with the starter and the hand crank.